Today, we're going to be talking about my 8 winners and losers for the New England Patriots Week 2 preseason game against the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's get into it. What's going on, you guys? It's your boy Colby, also known as Patriots Global, back here with another video. And today, guys, like I mentioned, we are going to be talking about some of my key takeaways, or rather, I should say my key players from the Patriots Week 2 preseason game against the Philadelphia Eagles. As always, this video is going to be brought to you by none other than BetUS. We'll talk to you guys a little bit later how you can get an exclusive 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits. Starting here with my first winner, though, it has to be Drake Maye. I mean, Drake Maye coming into this game, only playing a total of 6 snaps against the Carolina Panthers in week 1 of the preseason. 2 of those, of course, being run plays. We didn't really get too much of Drake Maye. There were Patriots fans calling into radio stations saying that Drake Maye had to be released and Joe Milton was the guy. We were already starting with that crap. So when we heard from Elliott Wolf, Gerard Mayo, that they were going to play Drake Maye a little bit more in this game, giving him more than an entire quarter of play, that's exactly what his Patriots fans wanted to see. And I thought coming out of this game, Drake Maye was everything that was advertised from the draft, both the good and the bad. On the positive side of things, we were able to see Drake Maye's arm strength on several different occasions. Now, unfortunately, for the majority of those plays, it didn't turn into anything due to Jayvon Baker not making plays down the field. But on one of the plays, we actually did see the arm strength from Drake Maye. Now, it was kind of just a check down to, I believe it was Jayvon Baker, but I mean, just a defender in the face of Drake Maye. Drake Maye off the back foot, last second, able to sling that ball and get it to Jayvon Baker, just showed the arm strength that, unfortunately, Mac Jones just never really had. Not only that, but we were also able to see the mobility of Drake Maye, obviously having that rushing touchdown on a design run, but not just that. On several different occasions, Drake Maye escaping the pocket, avoiding pressure, extending plays, dancing around the pocket. This is what the Patriots are going to need, not just for the type of quarterback that succeeds in today's NFL, but also with the offensive line struggles that they're having. They're going to need a quarterback that is able to extend the plays, dance around the pocket, and kind of make the offense multi-dimensional and not so predictable. You knew that when Mac Jones was on the field, it was going to be either to the running back or they were going to pass the ball. Like Mac Jones was really never going to get outside of the pocket, do anything pretty, make a defender miss, or rush into the end zone. With Drake Maye, it's going to be a very, very different thing. And like I mentioned, statistically, realistically, if it wasn't for Jayvon Baker, Drake Maye passing-wise goes for over 100 yards. He should be 8 for 11. But again, for the Patriots, in terms of what he did on the ground, he was able to be 3rd on the Patriots in rushing yards. Now, of course, where there's good, there's always going to be a little bit of bad. I didn't think Drake Maye was perfect in this game. Obviously, had a couple of overthrows, had a couple of bad passes, but like that's what you're going to get from Drake Maye. Like I said, everything that was advertised in the draft, I feel like is what we saw from Drake Maye. All the physical talent, the God-given talent in the world right now, just mentally a tick behind, which you're kind of seeing translate onto the field. Starts the game off maybe a little bit slow, couple of inaccurate passes. First one this week to Kayshon Boutte, who it was a complete pass because Boutte goes up with a one-handed grab, but super, super high pass on really just a short pass, just a check down to Kayshon Boutte there on the sidelines. And then week 1 against the Panthers, Drake Maye obviously sailing the ball over the head of Jalen Reagor. So again, some good, some bad, but I would say mostly positive takeaways from Drake Maye. Now, moving on to my next winner, this one might be a little bit controversial because he didn't necessarily light up the stat sheet, but it's going to be Patriots rookie 2nd-round pick, Jaylen Polk. Now, Jaylen Polk, through 2 weeks of the preseason, has shown exactly what we thought or exactly what we were hoping he was going to be coming out of the draft. To me, Polk is going to be this combination that the Patriots have been looking for over the last 2 years between Jakobi Meyers and Juju Smith-Schuster. Jakobi Meyers was a young wide receiver who they developed within their own system, who was extremely reliable, the go-to guy. Every time they had to convert on 3rd down, it seemed like the ball was going to Jakobi Meyers, but he was a possession wide receiver. He never did anything after the catch. He got the ball, he went down. Patriots were looking to upgrade from that. That's why they went to Juju. Juju, who was supposed to be a reliable receiver, obviously didn't work out, but in limited opportunities that we actually saw him do something with the ball in his hand, he was very good after the catch. And right now, that's what we're seeing with Jaylen Polk. He's going to be this guy that these quarterbacks go to on third down. They go to in time of need. He's going to be consistent. He's going to catch everything that goes his way, but he's also going to actually do something after the catch. In this game against the Philadelphia Eagles, one of his first catches, he was able to bounce around two Eagles defenders, one of which was veteran cornerback James Bradberry. So the fact that he's putting these moves already on veteran cornerbacks says a lot about the future of Jaylen Polk. Even week one against the Panthers, Jaylen Polk able to work really well through press man sticky coverage from the Panthers secondary, working through contact, still making really tough grabs, picking up first downs. This is exactly what you want to see. In this game specifically, again, didn't do anything crazy, but 3 targets, 2 receptions, 6 yards. You have to actually watch the game, watch the film to know why he's a winner on this list. Now, guys, real quick, got to give a shout out to the sponsors of this video and the channel all season long. You guys know who we're talking about, the best sportsbook on the dang platform over at BetUS. I use it. Everybody at Roundtable Sports uses it. Everybody on the AFC East Roundtable uses it, and we all use them for a reason. Right now, link in the description box below, pinned in the comment section below. You guys can get a limited time exclusive offer of a 125% sign-up bonus on your first 3 deposits up to $2,000. And for those of you who are not 21 yet, skip over, okay? If you're not 21, don't listen, skip over through 2 minutes, and we'll get right back to the video. But if you are, this is a limited time offer that you guys can get right here on the channel, and it's not going to last forever. If you don't know what a 125% sign-up bonus is, essentially what that is let's say you put down $100. That's just an easy number for me to do math with. That then turns into $225 for you to play with. More money you put in, more money you're going to get out. And you can do that, of course, on your first 3 deposits. Remember, too, that supporting the sponsors of the channel, guys, directly supports the channel. So if you want more videos like this, you want to support me, you want to support the channel, or really you just want more Patriots content, we could not be here without these sponsors. So make sure you guys go ahead, sign up for BetUS if you want to see more Patriots-related content. BetUS has the fastest payouts in the industry, fast and easy deposit and withdrawal process. They also have a 200% crypto deposit bonus, 24/7 personalized service, 365 days a year, live wagering on all major games, best betting variety in the business. You guys can even get a 10% back on your net losses 2 times a year, something that no other sportsbook is going to do. Not to mention that BetUS can also give you your very own personalized account manager. Now, something that I actually want to show you guys real quick is something that I'm going to place right here for you guys. You guys know I'm not lying, all right? I'm a lot of talk, but it's about time you guys saw me actually place a bet. I want to do something fun before we start the season. CeeDee Lamb, next team if not the Cowboys. Somehow, the Patriots are all the way down here at what? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're fifth best odds. Oh, I guess they're actually tied here for third, but still. At plus 700 right now, you can bet on the New England Patriots to land CeeDee Lamb. Now, I think that this is very realistic. Right now, from what Jerry Jones, owner of the Cowboys, is saying, they're not in a rush to get this deal done with CeeDee Lamb. And CeeDee Lamb actually tweeted about this saying, and I quote, LOL. He heard about it. He's not happy about it. There is no possible way for the Cowboys to re-sign Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and Micah Parsons. It's just not going to happen. And we know that Jerry Jones has this big connection with Dak Prescott, and it's the quarterback most important position in football. I think that there's a real world in which they end up moving on from CeeDee Lamb. The New England Patriots make a lot of sense. Why? They're in the AFC, not the NFC, so you don't have to worry about going up against them in the playoffs or whatnot. Not to mention that the Patriots right now also are not competitive. If you trade them to the Kansas City Chiefs, if, let's say, the Cowboys make the playoffs, you might have to worry about going up against CeeDee Lamb. If you send him to the Patriots, as I see we are glitching here a little bit, not only that, but I also know that you will not have to worry about him being all that competitive. So I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to place my bet here on the New England Patriots. And, it's early on. It's early on. We don't got to do anything too crazy. We're just here to have some fun, right? So only bet what you can afford to lose. I'm going to bet $10. If I win, it's going to net me 70. I'm going to place that. You guys can see. Bada bing, bada boom. It's already there, guys. Go ahead and check out BetUS. Have some fun, but most importantly, stay safe. If you or somebody you know has a gambling problem, make sure to reach out for help. Now, the next winner on my list is going to be yet again another New England Patriots rookie. Now, before you ask, no, not every single rookie from this Patriots draft class is a winner. In fact, there's actually some rookie players on my losers list, so you guys will stay tuned for that. But Patriots rookie Kaden Wallace in week 2 of the preseason, 14 pass blocking snaps, 0 pressures allowed with an 82.4 pass blocking grade. Vidarian Low looked like absolute crap in this game. And I don't know why over the last couple of weeks, as we're inching closer to the regular season, where you have to have a definite offensive line to build chemistry and build that continuity, why Vidarian Low is the guy that they decided to roll with. I mean, give me Kaden Wallace. Give me Chuks Okorafor over on the left side. For God bid, I mean, if you really need a right tackle, go ahead and put Michael Onwenu there. Pin Layden Robinson over at right guard. You need to worry about the blind side of your quarterback. It doesn't matter if it's Jacoby Brissett. It doesn't matter if it's Drake May. They both throw with their right hand. Their blind side is going to be the left side. And the lack of care about the left tackle position all offseason has been extremely aggravating. And the biggest reason that for me, Kaden Wallace is a winner on this list isn't just because of how he performed in this game, but against the Eagles in joint practice that Tuesday before the game. Kaden Wallace was one of the worst looking players on that offensive line during that joint practice. He was able to learn from his mistakes, develop because of it, come back into the game against the Eagles in that preseason, and be one of their best offensive linemen. Look, I understand 14 pass blocking snaps. That's all. It's not anything compared to what he would have to do on a regular basis, on a week-to-week basis, come the regular season. Yeah, if he does start for the Patriots, there's going to be growing pains at first. But if the Patriots know they're not going to be competitive anyway, why not let your young guys develop, especially in Kaden Wallace? At this point, I'd rather see Wallace or I'd rather see Chuks Okorafor as a Patriots starting left tackle. One of those guys has to be better than Vidarian Low. And at least in this game, in the opportunities we saw, Kaden Wallace looked really good. And I don't care if it's against the Eagles' first team defense or second team defense. The Eagles have dogs. Absolute dogs on their defense, especially that defensive line, and the depth they have is matched to none other in the league. Kaden Wallace was going up against starting caliber defensive linemen and still held up his own. Now, moving on with my next winner, I have kicker Joey Slye. Joey Slye might officially be the New England Patriots starting kicker this upcoming season after what we saw. Now, not only was statistically he good, which we'll get into in a minute, but it's the fact that he was the Patriots kicker for pretty much this entire game. So statistically, Joey Slye, 2 for 2 on field goals, also had a long of 51 yards. Didn't attempt any extra points. The extra point actually went to Chad Ryland, who did make it, but again, he's not getting any opportunities to kick field goals. And I don't know what it is with Chad Ryland and the Patriots not trusting him to kick during the preseason, any field goal opportunities. But the fact that Joey Slye was your kicker for the majority of this game, I think says a lot. And the fact that, again, he was able to hit from 51, I feel like we never see Patriots kickers as of late kicking from longer than 50 yards, at least making longer than 50 yards. All offseason, this competition has been head-to-head. Joey Slye looking better in spring practices, Chad Ryland looking better in training camp. Statistically, those guys are on the heels of each other. Like, they are very, very similar statistically to their overall makes. The thing is that within the 45, Chad Ryland has actually been the more consistent kicker. But when it comes to 50 plus yards, that's where Joey Slye has been the much, much better kicker. A couple of his misses coming within the 40-45, but Chad Ryland, pretty much all of his kicks coming after the 45. Now, of course, week 1, we saw Chad Ryland and Joey Slye going back and forth. Week 2, we saw all Joey Slye. If week 3, we see all Chad Ryland, then I think that it's still an open kind of debate on who's going to be the kicker for roster cutdowns. But if we get into the 3rd week and Joey Slye is doing the same thing that he did here in week 2, it's very safe to say that he's a lock to make the roster. And now that gets us into our losers. So my first loser on this list, it's actually not going to be a player. It's going to be Gerard Mayo. And look, he is a young coach. He's still developing. This is only his 2nd preseason game. He started coaching in the NFL just in 2019 as a linebackers coach. Like, there is going to be growing pains, not just for these players this upcoming season, but for this coaching staff and especially Gerard Mayo. Let's keep in mind, there was a point this offseason where Gerard Mayo was the youngest head coach in the NFL. Currently, he is the 2nd youngest head coach in the NFL. There's going to be growing pains, but it was his lack of care before going into halftime that got me. You have your timeouts. You have the ability to get the ball back. Yes, there's not a whole lot of time left, but you at least have the potential to get yourself down the field in a 2-minute drill to put yourself in field goal position. The Patriots lost this game by 1 point. By 1 point. And if maybe Gerard Mayo used his timeouts a little bit more accurately and sparingly and didn't have this mindset of let's just get into halftime as soon as we possibly can, maybe the Patriots end up winning this game and Gerard Mayo is still undefeated as a head coach. Now, I understand Bill Belichick's not a head coach in the NFL right now for a reason. The Patriots got rid of him for a reason, but he's still one, if not the best head coach of all time. There are parts to his game that you should definitely take away, and there's no argument. If this was Bill Belichick, no matter how much time is on the clock, no matter if it's a preseason or regular season game, no matter what the score is, he would have understood that this is situational football. Excellent moment to teach your players situational football, to rep in some situational football. And Gerard Mayo just didn't do that. This was an opportunity to see your coaching staff, to see some plays you have, to see if your players were able to go and drive down the field in a must-win field goal, gotta have it moment, and you didn't utilize it. Not to mention that, but the decision to throw Bailey Zappi in during the last 2 minutes of the game when you were down by 1 point, had to have it. This was going to be your last possession offensively, and that's the quarterback you throw in. Now, am I saying Bailey Zappi is the reason that the Patriots lost the game? No, I understand it was a bad snap. But the fact that I said as soon as Bailey Zappi entered the game, dear God, we're going to lose this game now. It's going to be a turnover or something of the sorts, just like it was all last season. And that's exactly what happened, I think says a lot. This was another opportunity, situational football. Got to have it. Got to win the game, where I can make a million reasons why the other three quarterbacks should have gotten the nod over Bailey Zappi. You know what you're getting from Bailey Zappi at this point. He's not going to be on your roster. At least he shouldn't be. There's no reason to give him that time to develop. That situational, again, football during that 2-minute drill. Go ahead and throw in your third round pick, or your third overall pick, rather, in Drake May. That's an excellent reps for him to get and build his confidence. Throw in Jacoby Brissett, who needed a bounce back moment after throwing that interception in the end zone earlier on in the game. He's going to be your week 1 starting quarterback. He could use those moments too. Or just keep in your rookie 6th round pick in Joe Milton. Joe Milton and Drake May have been the only quarterbacks to put up points for you over the last 2 weeks. Why throw in Bailey Zappi? I just didn't understand it. It seemed more like they realized with 2 minutes left in the game that they did not give Bailey Zappi any reps and were like, oh crap, real quick, we got to throw him in so he's not pissed off. Moving on to my next loser, though, it's going to be rookie 4th round pick, Jayvon Baker. And am I giving up on Baker? No, but this was a really rough game for him. And again, another player where everything we heard about him coming out of the draft has been what we've seen so far. Just a lot of inconsistencies. Poor drops. I mean, last year in college, he had a 10% drop rate. That was my biggest concern for him coming out of the draft. And that's exactly what we've seen. Now in training camp, making a highlight reel one day, silent the next day. Highlight reel the next 3 days, silent the next day. He has not really shown out for me in any capacity so far in the preseason, and that's been a bit of a letdown. But the reason that he's a loser on this list, first deep ball by Drake May, going to Jayvon Baker. Baker runs half of his route out of bounds, doesn't realize he's out of bounds, so the ball hits his hands and realizes, oh crap, if I catch the ball and I'm out of bounds, it's going to be a penalty on the offense, which is why he just ended up dropping the ball. I mean, Baker was brought here to make those exact plays, was brought here to make those plays of Devontae Parker, of N'Keal Harry, and just terrible situational football awareness by him. And that is how you get yourself benched. It's the same thing that happened to Kayshon Boutte against the Philadelphia Eagles week 1 that got him benched in Bill Belichick's doghouse. The fact that second-year cornerback for the Eagles, Kelee Ringo, was able to box Jayvon Baker out of bounds the entire time was very concerning to me, because again, Baker's job is to understand where he is on the field, make the contested grab, and not let the defensive back box him out. Unfortunately, that wasn't the only time that we saw Jayvon Baker struggle. There was another play late in the game. Drake May again goes deep. Beautiful ball for Jayvon Baker. Little out in front of him for sure, but again, Drake May putting the ball where he needs to only where Jayvon Baker can get it. It's a slight reach for Jayvon Baker, but again, plays that we know he can make and plays that he should make. Looks like he has the ball, can't survive the ground, goes down, and it's another incompletion. Just passes that he has to come up with, because this is the role he's going to be asked to play. Those are the passes he's going to be asked to make. Next up, we have another Patriots rookie on this list, 6th round pick, their only defensive player, Marcellus Dial. He was a massive reason why the Patriots lost this game. You know, in crunch time where the Eagles went, they drove down the field, they punched it in the end zone, they got the 2-point conversion. That's what gave them the lead. That was all because of Marcellus Dial. Marcellus Dial allowed 106 yards on 8 receptions. He was targeted 10 times. No other defender in this game allowed more than 28 total yards. I think it's pretty obvious that Marcellus Dial was easily hands down the Patriots' worst defender in this game. He's done absolutely nothing since joining the Patriots. Nothing this offseason. He's gotten special teams work as a gunner, hasn't stood out in any way, shape, or form. I get he's a 6th-round pick, but if he makes this roster, I'm going to be upset. He's done absolutely nothing to dictate a roster spot. You can cut him and get him back on the practice squad, and even if you can't, what are you truly losing? Mikey Victor, I'd rather have over Marcellus Dial. Sean Wade, I'd rather have over Marcellus Dial. It shouldn't be a competition. He's playing late in the 4th quarter, and he's still playing this bad. Easily a loser for me. My last loser on this list is going to be Vidarian Low, starting left tackle for the Patriots in this game. Starting left tackle for the Patriots over the last couple of weeks now in training camp. Looks like he is at least gearing up or projected to be the Patriots starting left tackle for 2024. He was tied with Antonio Mafi for the most quarterback pressures allowed in this game. Gave us all PTSD, and this is only a preseason game. What's he going to look like in live reps against Trey Hendrickson, and again, some of these other defenders, Phillips for the Dolphins, who they're going to have to face twice a year? There is a real concern over at left tackle. And at this point, I think we need to understand that Vidarian Low, he's not a starting tackle in the NFL. On the right side last year, he also allowed the most quarterback pressures out of any tackle in the league while he was the Patriots starting right tackle. He looked a little bit better at left tackle. I don't blame the Patriots for trying to develop him there, but he hasn't looked good. He's looked pretty much just as bad over on the left side as he has over on the right side. And if you don't want the same exact situation as it did in 2023 to happen in 2024, just worse really because it's on your quarterback's blind side, then figure out who your tackle is that is not Vidarian Low. At best, he is a swing tackle. He's a rotational tackle, but he is not a starting tackle for you and just looked like absolute crap in this game. This is where I'm going to kick it off to you guys. Who are your winners and who are your losers from this game? Let me know in the comment section below. Remember to leave a big like on this video and, of course, subscribe to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news. Appreciate you guys so much for watching this long video. But, of course, never forget, go Pats.